Yellowstone's final season has been unfolding in two disparate timelines, before John's death and after the Dutton patriarch's tragic demise. Its third episode, titled 353, continues the trend, kicking off with a flashback to the former. Beth, Kelly Riley, and Rip Kohlhauser are wrapping up their romantic rendezvous in Texas, while Case, Luke Grimes, Monica, Kelsey Isbill, and Tate, Breckenmerrill, are getting cozy in their new home on the ranch. Save for Beth's sadness over having to leave her husband behind in the Lone Star State, life is pretty good for the Dutton siblings. But that's all about to change. Turns out these happy moments are the final ones leading up to their father's murder. In fact, the next scene offers a front-row seat to what actually happened in the governor's mansion on that fateful night. Three men dressed in black cut the power to John's estate before entering his bedroom and rendering him unconscious. They drag his limp body to the bathroom, plant a bottle of oxycodone in his medicine cabinet, and inject a needle between his toes. The professionals carefully position a pistol in his hand, put the barrel to his temple, and pull the trigger. Just as John hits the floor, Beth, who's speeding back to Montana, is struck with an unshakable sense that something terrible has happened. She immediately pulls over and calls Rip to make sure her husband's okay. Case is eerily hit with a similar feeling, lying wide awake in bed next to Monica in a cold sweat. As his phone rings, the opening credits roll. Back in the present, Governor Dutton's interim replacement is wasting no time reversing John's orders. Following his swearing-in ceremony, he, Jamie, Wes Bentley, Linnell, Wendy Moniz, and John's loyal assistant Clara, Lily Kay, meet in his office. The latter two are quickly put off by the aggressive, greedy, and heartless nature in which the men want to move forward in regard to the ranch's doomed future. The new governor offers Clara a job, which she happily accepts. But it takes all of about a minute for her to be sickened by his unsavory side, leading her to ultimately decline the position. After the meeting, Clara and Linnell begin plotting their own strategy. Linnell offers to employ Clara, then not so subtly suggests she leak the sensitive info that was just shared with them in the new governor's office. Meanwhile, Case is meeting with the medical examiner to dig deeper into the report on John's death. The coroner insists her findings are accurate and that Dutton died by his own hand. But the persistent livestock commissioner strongly urges her to take another look, even calling on his old military skills to choke out one of her assistants and prove his homicide theory. The examiner soon discovers clear signs of John being restrained before his death. She changes the cause to undetermined and apologizes to Case. He brings this fresh intel to the case's leading detective, who shows him the murder weapon. Turns out the pistol belongs to Case and was apparently stolen from the Livestock Commission's office. Case suggests the detective make a statement immediately to flush out whoever ordered the hit on John. His dogged quest for answers next brings him to the Attorney General's office. He escorts Jamie's assistant to keep her from calling security, then forcefully slams his brother into his desk. Jamie begs and pleads, insisting he had nothing to do with their father's death. But unlike his confrontation with Beth last week, he puts on a very convincing performance, looking Case in the eye the whole time. Jamie claims he's trying to protect the ranch, but tells Case they must sell some of it off lest they risk losing it all. The scumbag Attorney General's silver tongue saves him, for now. We next catch up with Market Equity's Weasel Ellis Steele and his evil-doing psychic Sarah Atwood, Don Olivieri. They're at a lunch meeting, ensuring their clients that the plans to turn Dutton's land into a tourist-attracting airport are back on track. But Atwood's smug smile quickly evaporates when she spies a nearby TV airing a live press conference. She can't hear the news, but the ticker headline stating John Dutton's death is now being investigated as a homicide says it all. The mysterious man Atwood hired for the hit is also watching the report, causing him to immediately make a call. Back at the Capitol, the new governor is about to address the assembly. Before getting behind the podium to take a vote on revoking John's orders, he shares some concerns with Jamie. Given the new wrinkle in the investigation, he fears they'll look complicit by backing Market Equities. Still, he moves forward with the plans, taking a vote that ultimately favors his and Jamie's wishes. He also catches Jamie off guard, suggesting that the AG recuse himself from the investigation due to his relationship with the deceased. By this time, Case has made it back to the ranch, where Beth is watching all this unfold on TV. In a rare moment of vulnerability, she admits they're out of moves. They have no choice but to sell off at least part of their beloved property. Of course, even during the worst of times, the fiery Dutton daughter never loses her snark. When Rainwater, Gil Birmingham, arrives to offer his deepest condolences and any help he can provide, she follows a tearful, "There's no preserving this place with. One day, there'll be a Costco where the barn is." Beth hasn't completely given up, but we've never seen her against the ropes like this. While Beth and Rainwater chat about potential strategies for saving at least some of the land they hold so dear, albeit for different reasons. Case is having a heart-to-heart with Mo. Moses brings plenty. Case is afraid he must choose between his family and saving the ranch, a fear Monica expressed to Tate last week. Mo comforts him, in his typical cryptic way, suggesting he'll know exactly what he needs to do when the time comes. Sarah could use a meditative moment with Mo as well, as the cutthroat attorney is spiraling in the wake of the news of John's death being investigated as a homicide. She makes a beeline to the nearest cell phone store, where she berates the salesman before buying a burner. She then races home, frantically punches in a number she's got tucked away in her purse, then proceeds to take a hammer to the phone when it's revealed the line isn't in service. Her meltdown is interrupted by an angry Jamie, who immediately unloads on her. The verbal sparring soon gets physical, and the two wind up smacking each other across the face. Between gulps of Kettle One, she tells him he has nothing to worry about. She accepted all the risk in planning John's murder, ensuring Jamie couldn't be tied to the crime in any way. She soon storms out, but her phone begins buzzing before her Range Rover reaches the end of the block. It's Jamie, apologizing. As the dysfunctional pair sorta make up, Sarah, again, convinces Jamie to trust her. Their conversation is interrupted, however, when a couple pulls up alongside Sarah asking for directions. While the woman driving asks for help, the man in the passenger seat acts as though he recognizes Sarah. With her identity confirmed, he whips out a pistol, firing a shot into her head and several into her chest. On the other end of the line, Jamie screams for Sarah. Sobbing, he dials 911. But as he repeatedly yells, my number," it seems he's less concerned about his girlfriend's fate than the fact his digits are now recorded as her last call.